Good day. Today we will be discussing regarding managing knowledge. So the learning objectives for this chapter are: what is the role of knowledge management and knowledge management programs in business? What types of systems are used for enterprise-wide knowledge management and how do they provide value of businesses? Third, what are the major types of knowledge work systems and how do they provide value for firms? And last, what are the business benefits of using intelligent techniques for knowledge management? So knowledge management and collaboration systems are among the fastest growing areas of corporate and even government software investment. The past decade has shown an explosive growth in research on knowledge and knowledge management in the economics, management, and as well as information system fields. Knowledge management and collaboration are closely related. Knowledge that cannot be communicated and shared with others is nearly useless. Knowledge becomes useful and actionable when shared throughout the firm. Ibig sabihin, when everybody could be able to get meaningful information, so that means that it has been useful for all the parts of the organization or all of the departments. So today we will be discussing or we will be focusing our discussion on knowledge management systems and how can we communicate and share knowledge that has been increasingly providing importance in the organization. So we live in an information economy in which the major source of wealth and prosperity is the production and distribution of information and knowledge. So there has been an estimated of 55% U.S. labor force consisting for the knowledge and information workers and estimated of 60% U.S. GDP from knowledge and information sectors. So knowledge management has become an important theme at many large business firms as managers realize that much of their firm's value depends on the firm's ability to create and as well as manage the knowledge that they have in that organization. So studies have found that a substantial part of a firm's stock market value is related to its intangible assets. So when we say intangible assets, those are assets that cannot hold, or those are what we call the knowledge. So of which knowledge is one of the important components along with brands, the reputation, and unique business processes. Well-executed knowledge-based projects have been known to produce extraordinary returns on investment or ROI, although the impacts of knowledge-based investment are difficult to measure. So there are different important dimensions of knowledge. First one, we have knowledge is a firm asset. So as we have mentioned earlier, it is considered as an important intangible asset of any organization. Knowledge has different forms. So it may be explicit, or we can also term that as documented or tacit knowledge, whereas knowledge it is considered as a knowledge that has been documented. We also have the know-how, craft, and skill, how to follow procedure, and knowing why things happen. So there are major categories of knowledge also consists of the explicit knowledge. So knowledge can reside in email, voicemail, graphics, and unstructured documents as well as structured documents. Knowledge is considered or generally believed to have a location, either in minds of humans or in specific business processes. So knowledge is sticky and not universally applicable or easily moved. Knowledge is also thought to be situational and contextual. So for example, you must know when to perform a procedure as well as how to perform it. So it is very vital, especially when you are already working in an organization. You must know what you are using and know how to use it. To transform information into knowledge, firm must expend additional resources to discover pattern, rules, and contexts where knowledge works. This process is also called as organizational learning. Organizations that learn to adjust their behavior to reflect that learning by creating new business process and by changing patterns of management decision making. So knowledge management refers to the set of business processes developed in an organization, first to create, to store, to transfer, and to apply knowledge. So knowledge management increases the ability of the organization to learn from its environment and to incorporate knowledge into its business processes. I would like to show you the business or the knowledge management value chain. So let's proceed first with our diagram here. So we have here our knowledge management value chain. So in this figure, we can see that information systems activities are separated from related management and organizational activities, with information system activities on the top of the graphic and organizational and management activities below. One apt slogan of this knowledge management field is effective knowledge management is 80% managerial and organizational, and 20% are just from the technology. So that only means that the power of knowledge still comes from its users, from the knowledge workers of the companies. So we can see here from our value chain the knowledge acquisition or acquire. So organizations acquire knowledge in a number of ways depending on the type of knowledge they seek. So let's go back here. Ayan. The first knowledge management system sought to build corporate repositories of documents, reports, presentations, and best practices. These efforts have been extended to include unstructured documents. Unstructured documents could be emails. So in other cases, organizations acquire knowledge by developing online expert networks so that employees can find the expert in the company who is personally knowledgeable. So in still other cases, firms must create new knowledge by discovering patterns, incorporate data, or by using knowledge workstations where engineers can discover new knowledge. These various efforts are described throughout this chapter. So a coherent and organized knowledge systems also require systematic data from the firm's transaction processing system that track first the sales of the company, the payments, the inventory, the customers. The customer data is very important for most organizations today, because from customer data, they can predict its buying patterns, what are the interests of these buyers, and other vital data, as well as data from external sources. So when we say external sources of data, this would include the news feeds, the industry reports, legal opinions, scientific research, and as well as from government statistics. Next, from our value chain is the knowledge storage. So once they are discovered, documents, patterns, and expert rules must be stored so they can be retrieved and used by employees. Diba? Kahit naman tayo, once we have research on something, we make it to a point that we store it. So later on, we can retrieve or go back from it. Knowledge storage generally involves the creation of a database. Document management systems that digitize, index, and tag documents according to a coherent framework are large databases adept at storing collections of documents. So we have what we call expert systems, which also help corporations preserve the knowledge that is acquired by incorporating that knowledge into their organizational process. So, ibig sabihin, whatever they have acquired or stored from their data or from the data, they will be incorporating or integrating it on their processes and as well as in their culture to yield on improvements for their company. So, management must support the development of planned knowledge storage systems, encourage the development of corporate-wide schemas for indexing documents, and reward employees for taking the time to update and store documents properly. So, that is one way, I think that is one way of motivating employees in updating data over their system. Ano po? Kasi once an employee receives a reward for his or her hard work, so mas motivated yan to come up with better ideas or to come up with new knowledge for the company. Next one is the knowledge dissemination. So, portals, emails, for knowledge dissemination, we have portals, the email, the instant messaging, the push email reports, the search engine and collaboration tools, social business tools have been added to our existing array of collaboration tools for sharing calendars, documents, data, and graphics. So, contemporary technology seems to have created a deluge of information and knowledge. How can managers and employees discover in a sea of information and knowledge that which is really important for their decisions and their work? So here, training programs, informal networks, and shared management experience communicated through a supportive culture help managers focus their attention on the important knowledge and information. So these are the techniques that the companies are doing so that their managers can gist on important data or knowledge within the company for them to be able to create better decisions or efficient decisions for their company. Next one is the knowledge application. So regardless of what type of knowledge management system is involved, knowledge that is not shared and applied to the practical problems facing firms and managers does not add business value. So, ibig sabihin, if you will not be using it, let's say you have a lot of data, a lot of knowledge in your company, but then again, you are not utilizing it, so that means also that it does not add any business value. To provide a return on investment or ROI, organizational knowledge must become a systematic part of management decision making and become situated in systems for decision support. As well as new knowledge must be built into a firm's business processes and key application systems, including enterprise applications for managing key internal business processes and relationships with customers and suppliers. Management supports also this process by creating, based on new knowledge, new business practices, new products and services, and new markets for the firm. So, ibig sabihin, the new knowledge will be yielding for better operations or practices within the organization or business organization. There are new organizational roles and responsibilities when knowledge has been used within the organization. First is the yielding of Chief Knowledge Officer executives, dedicated staff, or considered as knowledge managers, and communities of practice. So when we say COPs, these are informal social networks of professionals and employees within and outside firm who have similar work-related activities and interests. So there are also 3 types of knowledge management system. First is the enterprise-wide knowledge management system, the knowledge work system, and intelligent techniques. So, enterprise-wide knowledge management system, are considered as general-purpose firm-wide efforts to collect, store, distribute, and apply digital content and knowledge. So these systems include capabilities for searching for information, storing both structured and unstructured data, and as well as locating employee expertise within the firm. They also include supporting technologies such as portals, search engines, collaboration, and social business tools, and learning management system. So from this diagram, we can see the 3 major types of knowledge, and as well as each can be broken down further into more specialized types of knowledge management system. So first, we have the enterprise-wide knowledge management system. Next to it is our knowledge work system, or KWS, which is a specialized system built for engineers, scientists, and other knowledge workers charged with discovering and creating new knowledge for a company. So they can also be called as researchers for the company. And the third one is our intelligent techniques, such as data mining, expert system, the use of neural network, fuzzy logic, genetic algorithms, and intelligent agents. So as early as now, for your capstone project by next year, you can use this ideas. You can work on this idea, especially on data mining. You can create a system which includes prediction, predictive analytics, using data mining, using neural networks or fuzzy logic or other algorithms. So these techniques have different objectives, from a focus on discovering knowledge to distilling knowledge in the form of rules for a computer program, to discovering optimal solutions for problems of the organization or the company that uses it. So there are also three major types of knowledge in enterprise. First, we have the structured knowledge or documents. So structured knowledge is explicit knowledge that exists in formal documents as well as formal rules that organization derive by observing experts and their decision-making behaviors. So there is also what we call our semi-structured documents, which is in the form of emails and videos and unstructured tacit knowledge. So 80% of an organization's business content is semi-structured or unstructured. The enterprise content management systems. So in businesses today, we need to organize and manage both the structured and semi-structured knowledge assets. Because this knowledge can help capture, store, retrieve, and distribute and preserve data within that organization. So we can work on with documents, the reports, and as well as best practices, and as well as the semi-structured knowledge, which is in the form of emails. So in this diagram, we can see that the enterprise content management system. So an enterprise content management system has capabilities for classifying, organizing, and managing structured and semi-structured knowledge and making it available throughout the enterprise. So ganito yung nagiging process of the enterprise content management system. So they have the capabilities for knowledge capture. After capturing or creating that knowledge, they will be storing it. Retrieval will also be part, and as well as distribution and preservation to help firms improve their business processes and decisions. So such systems would include corporate repositories of documents, reports, presentations, and best practices, as well as capabilities for collecting and organizing yung tinatawag natin kaninang semi-structured knowledge. Ano po? So we have here the unified repository, which would include the reports, best practices, the memos are also included, the digital slides, email graphic, video newsfeed, wikis, blogs, and employee profile. So there has been a key problem in managing knowledge, which is the creation of an appropriate classification scheme or taxonomy. So taxonomy refers into organizing information into meaningful categories so that it can be easily accessed. So once the categories for classifying knowledge has been created, each knowledge object needs to be tagged or classified so that it can be easily retrieved. Enterprise content management systems have capabilities for tagging interfacing with corporate databases and content repositories, and creating enterprise knowledge portals that provide a single point of access to information resources. So, in layman terms, para tayong nagbibigay ng labels. So, that when the time that we need that specific data or that specific item, mas madali yung retrieval. So, that is also what happens in taxonomy. We use on tagging or classifying so that when we will be using it or we will need to retrieve it, it will be much easier. So we also have our digital asset management system that help companies classify, store, and distribute these digital objects. The knowledge network systems address the problem that arises when the appropriate knowledge is not in the form of a digital document, but instead resides in the memory of individual experts in the firm. So, knowledge network systems provide an online directory of corporate experts and their profiles with details about their job experience, the projects that they have worked on with, the publications, and educational degrees that they have. Search tools make it easy for employees to find the appropriate expert in a company. Knowledge network systems such as the ASME include repositories of expert-generated content. So, some knowledge networking capabilities are included in the leading enterprise content management, social networking, and collaboration software products. So this is the diagram which shows us the enterprise-wide knowledge system that we have discussed a while ago. So a knowledge network maintains a database of firm experts as well as the accepted solution to known problems that may arise in the company, in the facilities, and the communication between employees looking for knowledge and experts who have that knowledge. Solutions created in this communication are then added to a database of solutions in the form of facts or frequently asked questions, best practices, or other documents. The next we have here portal and collaboration technologies, which uses enterprise knowledge portals. So through this, we can access to external and internal information in the organization. We can access on the news feed, the researches, and as well as we have the capabilities for email, chat, video conferencing, and discussion. We also utilize consumer web technologies, including information from blogs, from wikis, and social bookmarking. We also have what we call LMS. So LMS stands for Learning Management Systems. So this provide tools for management, delivery, tracking, and assessment of various types of employees. They support multiple modes of learning. So we have before the CD-ROM, the web-based classes that are currently using as of today, and as well as online forum. So, through different mediums or applications that we have today, diba, very convenient for all of us to have online forums and as well as live instruction. So, through the use of this, diba, we could be able to have this online classes. As well as, this would also include downloadable videos. So, diba, there are times you will be asked by your instructors to download videos or instructional videos that can guide you in understanding the topics of the topics for each courses. So, same thing goes in an organization. They also utilize learning management systems. This provides automation, or it automates selection and administration of courses. It also assembles and delivers learning content. So, at any time, employees within the organization can access information about the course, or they can review as long as they have been connected with the company or they have access to it. And then, it also measures the learning effectiveness. Kasi, after each courses that they have learned or they have access, they need to take up some assessment exams for them or for the company to know if they have learned something from that course and how much knowledge that have they gained from that specific learning course. Then we also have our knowledge work systems. So the enterprise-wide knowledge systems that we have discussed a while ago provide a wide range of capabilities that can be used by many, if not all, the workers and groups in an organization. Firms also have specialized systems for knowledge workers to help them create a new knowledge and to ensure that this knowledge is properly integrated to the business. So, knowledge workers may include researchers, designers, architects in the company, scientists, and even engineers who primarily create knowledge and information for the organization. So, knowledge workers usually have high level of education and membership in professional organization and are often asked to exercise independent judgment as a routine aspect of their work. So, that is why palagi tayong in-encourage to be part or to be members of professional organizations because there are a lot of benefits that we can get from these organizations. So there are some requirements for knowledge work systems. So most knowledge workers rely on office systems such as word processors, voicemail, email, video conferencing, and scheduling systems, which are designed to increase worker productivity in the office. However, knowledge workers also require highly specialized knowledge work systems with, first, powerful graphics, second, analytical tools, and communications and document management capabilities. So the knowledge work system should also include substantial computing power for graphics, complex calculation, communication and document management, access to external databases, user-friendly interfaces, and optimized for tasks to be performed, including design, engineering, and as well as financial analysis within the company. So in this figure, we can see the example of how knowledge system work system has been used in an organization. So KWS requires strong links to external knowledge bases, in addition to specialized hardware and software that they have within the system for them to create new knowledges or new knowledge that can be beneficial for the business. Example of knowledge work system includes CAD or computer aided design, which automates the creation and revision of designs using computers and sophisticated graphic software. Next one is the virtual reality systems, which have visualization, rendering, and simulation capabilities that go far beyond those of conventional CAD system. They also use interactive graphic software to create computer-generated simulations that are so close to reality that users almost believe they are participating in real-world situation. In many virtual reality systems, the user dons special clothing, headgear, and equipment depending on the application. Next one is the investment workstations. So when we say investment workstation, these are streamlined investment process and consolidate internal and external data for brokers, traders, and as well as portfolio managers. So let's skip on these questions. We also use intelligent techniques for this system. With intelligent techniques are used to capture individual and collective knowledge and to extend knowledge base. We also have here what we call our artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence technology or AI technology consists of computer-based system. It would include both hardware and software that attempt to emulate human behavior. So such systems would be able to learn languages, accomplish physical tasks, use a perceptual apparatus, and emulate human expertise and decision making. Although AI applications do not exhibit the breadth, complexity, originality, and generality of human intelligence, they play an important role in contemporary knowledge management. If you were able to see on social media reports or news regarding Amazon Go, so Amazon Go is an automated store wherein those stores do not have counters. You can just get get the items, and automatically when you leave the store, the summary of your purchase products will be deducted on your bank accounts given on the entry of the store. So that is parang 7-Eleven scenario. Yun nga lang, walang counter. You can just get whatever you want, and then before you leave or before you go on the door, so a receipt will be generated and will be automatically deducted on your bank accounts. They also have Amazon Fresh. So the Amazon Fresh naman works just like a supermarket. For example, it works like the SM supermarket. Again, the only difference is that you don't have to fall in line in a counter. So once you have there a cart, so once you put something on that cart, it will automatically be listed on your receipt. Ano po? And just in time, for example, you don't want that specific item, you can automatically get it out from the cart, and again, it would automatically deducted on your draft receipt. And then, just like the Amazon Go, before you leave the store, it will generate a receipt and the total amount due will be deducted on your bank accounts. So that is one specific example of artificial intelligence technology that the US has been using for now. I think if I'm not mistaken, Amazon Go stores already have 30 operating stores in the US. The next one, we have expert systems. So expert systems are an intelligent technique for capturing tacit knowledge in a very specific and limited domain of human expertise. Their systems capture the knowledge of a skilled employee in the form of a set of rules in a software system that can be used by others in the organization. The set of rules in the expert system adds to the memory or stored learning of the firm. Expert systems lack the breadth of knowledge and the understanding of fundamental principles of a human expert. They typically perform very limited tasks that can be performed by professionals in a few minutes or hours, such as diagnosing a malfunctioning machine or determining whether to grant credit for a loan. Problems that cannot be solved by human experts in the same short period of time are far too difficult for an expert system. However, by capturing human expertise in limited areas, expert systems can provide benefits, helping organizations make high-quality decisions with fewer people. So today, expert systems are widely used in business in discrete, highly structured decision-making situations. So we have here a diagram on how an intelligent technique works, or the rules in an expert system. So these rules in intelligent techniques are much more interconnected and nested than in traditional software program. So as we can see, an expert system contains a number of rules to be followed. The rules are interconnected. The number of outcomes is known in advance and is limited. There are multiple paths to the same outcome, and the system can consider multiple rules at a single time. So the rules illustrated are for simple credit granting expert systems. So human knowledge must be modeled or represented in a way that a computer can process. Expert system model human knowledge as a set of rules that collectively are called the knowledge base. Expert systems have from 200 to many thousand of these rules depending on the complexity of the problem that they have in the organization. So the strategy used to search through the knowledge base is called inference engine. So in forward chaining naman, the inference engine begins with the information entered by the user and searches the rule base to arrive at a conclusion. So the strategy is to fire or carry out the action of the rule when a condition is true. And then in backward chaining naman, the strategy for searching The rule base starts with a hypothesis and proceeds by asking the user questions about selected facts until the hypothesis is either confirmed or disproved. So those can be seen on this diagram. So these are the two strategies that are commonly used, the forward chaining and the backward chaining. So in this figure, beginning on the left, if the user enters a client's name with income greater than 100,000, the engine will fire all rules in sequence from left to right. If the user then enters information indicating that the same client owns real estate, another pass of the rule base will occur and more rules will fire. Processing continues until no more rules can be fired. And then, in backward chaining naman, we ask the question, should we add this person to the prospect database? We begin on the right of the diagram and work toward the left. You can see that the person should be added to the database if a sales representative is set, term insurance is granted, or a financial advisor visits the client. So, successful expert system. So, this is an example. So, Conway Transportation built expert system to automate and optimize planning of overnight shipment routes for nationwide freight tracking business. So, most expert systems deal with problems of classification. So, they have relatively few alternative outcomes, and possible outcomes are known in advance through the use of this system. Expert systems primarily capture the tacit knowledge of individual experts, but organizations also have collective knowledge and expertise that they have built up over the years. This organizational knowledge can be captured and stored using case-based reasoning. In case-based reasoning, or CBR, descriptions of past experiences of human specialists represented as cases are stored in a database for later retrieval when the user encounters a new case with similar parameters. So the system searches for stored cases with problem and characteristics similar to the new one, finds the closest fit, and applies the solution of the old case to the new case. So successful solutions are tagged to the new case and both are stored together with other cases in the knowledge base. So unsuccessful solutions also are appended to the case database along with the explanation as to which or as to why the solution did not work. So in this diagram, we can see how case-based reasoning works. So this is what we have discussed a while ago. So expert system work by applying a set of if-then-else rules extracted from human experts. So case-based reasoning, in contrast, represents knowledge as a series of cases. And this knowledge base is continuously expanded and refined by the users. So you'll find case-based reasoning in diagnostic systems, in medicine, or customer support, where users can retrieve past cases whose characteristics are similar to the new case. The system suggests a solution or diagnosis based on the best matching retrieved case. So, case-based reasoning represents knowledge as a database of past cases. So, as you can see there, we have a case database. The system uses a 6-step process to generate solutions to new problems encountered by the users. And the next one, we have the fuzzy logic system. So most people do not think in terms of traditional if-then rules or precise numbers. Humans tend to categorize things imprecisely using rules for making decisions that may have many shades of meaning. So for example, a man or a woman can be strong or intelligent. A company can be large, medium, or small in terms of size. Temperature can be hot, cold, cool, or warm. So these categories represent a range of values. So fuzzy logic is a rule-based technology that can represent such imprecision by creating rules that use approximate or subjective values. It can describe a particular phenomenon or process linguistically and then represent that description in a small number of flexible rules. So this is in this diagram, we have our fuzzy logic for temperature control. So cool is between 45 degrees and 70 degrees. Although the temperature is most clearly cool between about 60 degrees and 67 degrees. Note that cool is overlapped by cold or warm or norm. To control the room environment using this logic, the programmer would develop similarly imprecise definitions for humidity and other factors such as outdoor wind and temperature. The rules might include one that says if the temperature is cool or cold and the humidity is low, while the outdoor wind is high, the outdoor temperature is low. We raise the heat and humidity in the room. Then we move on with neural networks. So neural networks are used for solving complex, poorly understood problems for which large amounts of data have been collected. They find patterns and relationships in massive amounts of data that would be too complicated and difficult for a human being to analyze. Neural networks discover this knowledge by using hardware and software that parallel the processing patterns of the biological or human brain. Neural networks learn patterns from large quantities of data by sifting through data, searching for relationships, building models, and correcting over and over again the model's own mistakes. So in this figure, we can see how a neural network works. From this diagram or from this figure, then we can see that we have learned how to identify fraudulent credit card purchase. Also, self-organizing neural networks can be trained by exposing them to large amounts of data and allowing them to discover the patterns and relationship in the data. So a neural network uses rules. It learns from patterns in data to construct a hidden layer of logic. The hidden layer then processes inputs, classifying them based on the experience of the model. In this example, the neural network has been trained to distinguish between the valid and fraudulent credit card purchases. So, ibig sabihin, based on the data given by the user, it will be matching on or it will learn from its previous data if valid ba or not valid yung mga credit card purchases. The next one, we have our genetic algorithm. So there are a lot of algorithms that are widely available. So these genetic algorithms are useful for finding the optimal solution for a specific problem by examining a very large number of possible solutions for that problem. They are based on techniques inspired by evolutionary biology, such as inheritance, mutation, selection, and crossover, or what we call our recombination. So this genetic algorithm works by representing information as a string of zeros and ones. The genetic algorithm searches a population of randomly generated strings of binary digits to identify the right string representing the best possible solution for a problem. As solutions alter and combine, the worst ones are discarded and the better ones survive to go on to produce even better solutions. And then next one, we have our hybrid AI, or artificial intelligence systems. So, genetic algorithms, fuzzy logic, and neural networks and expert systems can be integrated into a single application to take advantage of the best feature of these technologies. And this is what we call our hybrid AI systems. Hybrid applications in business are growing. For example, in Japan, we have Hitachi, Mitsubishi, Ricoh, Sanyo, and others are starting to incorporate hybrid AI in products such as home appliances, factory machinery, and office equipment. So we have other companies who have been used as NeuroFuzzy washing machine that combines fuzzy logic with neural networks. So Nikko Securities also has been working on NeuroFuzzy system to forecast convertible bond ratings. And then we also have what we call our intelligent agents. So intelligent agent technology help business navigate through the large amounts of data to locate and act on information that is considered important. These are software programs that work without direct human intervention to carry out specific tasks for an individual user, business process, or software application. The agent uses a built-in or learned knowledge base to accomplish tasks or make decisions on the others or on the user's behalf, using a deleting junk email, scheduling appointments, or traveling over interconnected networks to find the cheapest airfare, for example, for California or for US. The agent-based modeling applications have been developed to model the behavior of consumers, stock markets, and supply chains, and to predict the widespread of epidemic. So, for example, Procter & Gamble used agent-based modeling to improve coordination among different members of its supply chain in response to changing business conditions. And that ends our discussion regarding managing knowledge.